Hello, my friends. Welcome back. Today I am going to put together a layout using the new Bayfair collection from Rosie Studios. When I initially went through the collection with you, I pulled out this kind of pink sailing paper. I knew I had the perfect photos to create a layout with this. I am not a particularly nautical person myself, but my sister and her partner went sailing with my nephew Jack, and they gave me these fantastic photos, even some little dolphins in there, and I knew it would be perfect for this collection. So that's what I'm working with. Now, I've already gone ahead and cut out some cardstock from the cardstock collection pack and tediously stitched around the outline of those circles. So I just wanted to try to make a layout that didn't have a whole lot of white in there. I'm one of those people who are very prone to just grabbing a piece of white cardstock. In fact, I have a huge bulk pack of it before I start a layout. I wanted to try something a little bit different today. So I am using the pattern paper as my background, and I have created this kind of half frame here with some navy cardstock. I just freehand cut that. I used my compass to draw a circle along the sort of bottom right hand corner of this cardstock, cut that out, and then I have stitched around the just the circular part of that cut, so not around the outside of the cardstock. And then I cut a smaller circle to fit on the inside here, and I did cheat a little bit. I knew I was going to kind of cover up the bottom of this circle with photos, so I did not stitch all the way around there. To be honest, I was getting pretty tired of stitching at that point, so I've just stitched around the portion that you're mostly going to see, and to be honest, I cover up quite a lot of that too, disappointingly. So I've got 3 square photos. They're going to sit along the bottom of my circle here. You can see they would have covered up all of that stitching anyway, so I don't feel too bad about missing that out. And this is really the basic layout. I'm just going to fill in some of the rest with all sorts of die cut ephemera. You can see up there I've already gone through the packs and pulled out things that I knew I was going to use. So anything kind of nautical, or so definitely not florals is basically what I'm saying. Nauticals, or like those kind of more journal spot sort of pieces. I knew I wanted to use the whale. It was close as I was going to get to the dolphins that were there. And I have just gone ahead and adhered my photos with a little bit of temporary adhesive for now, because I'm going to tuck these die cut pieces in and around them. And honestly, my biggest frustration with doing layouts like this is that things move around. My photos are always slipping around. I can never keep things where I want them to be. So just a tiny touch of temporary adhesive in there kind of saved my sanity in that respect. So I'm really going to do nothing except kind of pick out pieces that I think work with the photos, with the kind of theme, and kind of fill in, I guess it's too big to call a cluster, but a bigger portion of these die cuts onto the top sort of left-hand side of my photos. They are going to stay within that circular border, so it's not necessarily the like top left-hand corner of my layout, but sort of the left-hand side of my photos all along the top. Now, I did tuck that whale in sort of on top. The rest are going in behind. I'm going to add some sailing ships. I'm just having fun playing with it. Now, to start off with, I was kind of concerned about keeping that red and blue color scheme. As I got more into it, I wanted to add a few little spots of yellow as well. So I am adding a little soda bottle. I've got a shell down there. I'll add a few more pieces as well. And you can see I'm starting to add a few little bits at the bottom. Now, I'm not going to create like a massive cluster down the bottom here, but this is where I plan to have my title, and I do want to have at least some of these kind of icon elements in there as well. Basically, I'm just going to keep layering until I'm happy with it. And I'm definitely not going to make you watch me stick all of these little things down. I will do that in 1 minute. First, I want to work out where my title is going to go, and it is going to go down here. Now, like I mentioned in the unboxing video, there isn't a alpha in this collection, so I'm going to make my title with what I have available to me, which is puffy stickers, there's other stickers, there are kind of die cut scripty words. I already know that I want to use the cardstock stickers that say today and one of the gold puffy stickers that says loved. So my title is going to be loved today. But because they're a little bit kind of smaller, they're a little bit, well, not a little bit, they're patterned as well. I just want to make sure I've got a spot down here that's going to make that title reasonably visible. So I played around with a few little bits and pieces. And in the end, I settled on this tag, which has the nice blue, but it's got this big white space in the middle, which visually I find distracting, but also the pattern on the Today stickers are a blue and white stripe. So having the white down there, it still didn't help it stand out as much as I really wanted it to. So I am going to go back in and I'm going to fill in the white space on that tag. I looked at the pattern papers, but honestly the pattern on pattern on pattern got a little bit busy. So in the end, I'm going to go ahead and just cut down some of the same cardstock that I used around the outside border, that sort of dark navy. I had a piece that was almost the perfect height there. And I'm literally just going to measure out the white space on that tag, trim a piece of cardstock to fit and stick it down so that when I do adhere the alphas onto there, they're going to be seen, like they're going to stand out. They're a little bit lighter, so they definitely got enough contrast with that darker cardstock to really show themselves off and be seen there. Now, this is where I'm going to turn the camera off for a little bit and go ahead and start sticking everything down, or do my best to make sure that everything is as stuck down as possible. And then I'll come back to you and we can finish off the layout. So that is everything stuck down. I'm just sticking down the last little piece of that tag. I decided to tuck that one underneath the photo. So there's a whole lot of kind of layering going on here. I did end up putting back that little gingham piece. There is another gingham kind of banner up there. So having those bold patterns repeating just adds a little bit of consistency that I like. And then I'm going to finish that off by just popping that puffy sticker on top there. So that is everything kind of roughly where I wanted it. One of the reasons that I had picked this kind of circular design for this layout was that I really wanted to add some of these buttons. They're kind of not something I would usually put on a layout, so I really wanted to kind of challenge myself to do that. Really adds to that circular theme. One thing I am doing though is just peeling the foam backing off them. These are kind of thick and chunky buttons as it is, without adding a massive kind of foam element in behind there. I'm going to add a little bit of glue onto those, some liquid adhesive, and then just let that dry, but I will go ahead and do that off camera because that is fairly tedious to watch. As well as the buttons, there are a few little circular enamel pieces, enamel stickers here. I'm going to add a few of those kind of clustered around where those buttons are, just to kind of really highlight them. And then that will be my layout all done. Now, I have to admit this collection was going to be a bit of a challenge for me, and I actually surprised myself managing to create this nautical themed, very blue and red layout, and I really love how it turned out. So I guess in some respects, choosing a collection that might not be your usual cup of tea can sometimes be a really good thing. Hey, thanks for watching, friends. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you want to keep watching, I'm going to leave a couple of videos on screen. Otherwise, I'll see you again really soon. Bye.